So if you decide to go 3 years at 90, did you leave another 40 million on the table that you're not going to get back in this contract? So you got one shot to get this one right. So if you do 3 for 90, and another team was willing to give you 4 for 110,
And I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life.
boom, coming in hot, shit. Sunny skies behind me, bro.
Dude, you got the sunny skies. What are you in the?
Yeah,
are you
I'm down here.
South Coast here?
I'm in Florida, though. Me and Jake took a trip down for a couple of days. We always do down in Florida. So, little baseball, swinging a little bit. We're heading back tomorrow morning. So,
Crushing baseballs. I saw Jake in the cage, dude. Big senior year for Jake, right?
that's it, man. This is it. Last hurrah, dude. Senior year at Kent State. Let's go.
Let's go. Stu's meowing. Dude, I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. All I've been doing is eating. For like 5 days, I feel like Mickey Suko, the hot dog eating champ.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like, dude. All day, I can't stop. Jess is too good of a cook. It's ruining my life.
And Jess doesn't even eat what she cooks sometimes, right? And she's just like,
Dude, the other night we had like a cousin's Christmas, like all her cousins from her side that we don't get to see during the holiday.
Right.
She made it was like Christmas all over again. Chicken cutlet, chicken parm. She made sausage and peppers. All these breads she makes. I'm literally like Captain Carb right now. I got to do something with my life. I'm looking at you on this sunny baseball field. If I were out there right now, I would probably just lay down on the grass behind you and just absorb the carbohydrates there.
Captain Carb, bro. That's good.
It's unbelievable. Anyway, so we had some moves over the weekend. Don't mind Stu here in my grill.
Stu?
Yeah, there he is. A couple really cool moves. So Teoscar goes back to the Dodgers, which I think is a perfect fit. They love him. He loves them. Deferred money, as they do. They do that better than anybody in the country.
Yeah.
And then Corbin Burns goes to the D-backs for maybe a little bit less than. I mean, he's still the most expensive pitcher in the history of baseball, I think. But he went to the D-backs because he lives there. Just had twins with his wife. His family's there. Arizona is their home of spring training. I think it's just a good humane move that he made to go there. What do you think?
Well, 35 million a year is nothing to, I think Max Fried's contract got Corbin Burns paid, to tell you the truth. I don't think Burns would have made 35 million a year if Fried hadn't signed for 8 years, 218 or whatever he signed.
Right.
So, this market definitely helped Corbin Burns, no doubt about it. But I think this is also a family thing. He lives in Arizona in the off season. Just had twins, and I think he's a family guy. That listen, man. There's nothing. If a lot of players, if they had the option to stick around and live at home for the whole year, dude, that makes life a lot easier in this. And to get $35 million to basically stay at your house, you know what I mean, for all year long, that's pretty incredible.
Explain what it's like for people that live in Arizona who spring training is in Arizona. Like, how amazing is that? That's like an extra month and a half with your family.
Yeah, it's an extra 2 months at home, dude. At the end of the day,
that's a lot.
That's a lot, dude. That's a lot.
You're not renting some condo like in Boca Vista, like.
Dude, I remember the toughest thing. The toughest thing about the life of that life in the big leagues is that you're moving 3 times a year. So you're like, I remember I used to live in Jupiter, Florida, which I probably should have lived in Sarasota, but I had family in Jupiter, so I was there, and so I had to leave Jupiter to go to Sarasota. Was there for 6-7 weeks. From there up to Cincinnati or wherever I played, Boston, Detroit, Pittsburgh, there for 8 months or 7 months, 6-7 months, and then back to Jupiter for 4 months. So it's like you're literally moving 3 times a year, dude. I honestly, listen, it
takes a lot.
It's all relevant, but it's a pain in the ass for anybody. I don't care if you're making $20 million a year, whatever you're, or $20,000 a year. Like, it's not fun to move 3 times a year. That's the bottom line.
No, packing a suitcase is the worst thing in the world.
Total pain in the butt. Yeah, exactly, dude. I still have boxes They're in the attic that are from those days of moving that I just never opened. I'm like, what's in that box? Like, I have no idea. I have no idea what's in that box.
I know it's
You
amazing.
know what I mean? So
All right.
like for a guy like
Yeah.
Corbin Burns, that's a big deal. It's a big deal for those guys, man. I really believe
Right.
that. The guys that live in Arizona, man, looking back, like if I could have that shot at free agency and to be
Ooh.
home for 12 months, like, dude, that's worth a lot to me. That's worth
Right.
$5-10 million to me. You know what I mean? Not
I know that.
everybody's in it for the toppest dollar, and I do think that deal for Burns, though, $35 million a year. Maybe he got a little bit more somewhere, but probably not much.
No, so good for him. God bless him.
Yeah.
Teoscar, I think that's a great. It's just best of both worlds. He looks like a Dodger. He's a great Dodger. He did some special things in the playoffs. You forget because Freddie Freeman got that big hit and the Dodgers had some big moments, but like Teoscar was probably their most consistent playoff bat for the entire stretch. And God bless him, man. Another late bloomer guy. I love that we're seeing the late bloomer guys making their money now.
Yeah,
That we
no,
didn't see
well,
in the mid '90s, mid 2000s.
yeah. Well, Teoscar, man, he's had a really nice career. Like, I think he got a little lost when he went to the Mariners because it didn't hit as well there. But he had some big years with the Blue Jays,
Yeah.
and then had that with the Dodgers this past year. Man, we saw the power that he has. Always had that kind of power, and you saw after the World Series too. He said that the one place I want to go to is back to LA, which I don't know if that helped him because you don't want to say. I mean, I hate to say it, but you don't really want to say that. You know what I
Right.
mean? If you're looking to get top dollar, but for him, obviously, he was looking to get, paid, respectfully paid, which he did, and that's a huge cog in the wheel. I think Andrew Friedman and that organization knew, what Teoscar meant to that lineup, dude. It just wasn't Freddie Freeman and Shohei and Betts. I mean,
Right.
Teoscar, you know, drove in close to 100 runs. Hit a bunch of home runs, big home runs. Had the big hit to win to win Game 5 or tie it up. So when you go back and look at their season, man, they might not have won the whole thing if Teoscar Hernandez isn't in that lineup.
Yeah, and we've learned, Stanton did it with the Yankees. Like that 5, 6, 7 hitter in your lineup is so imperative these days because they're so smart with the analytics that they're not pitching to the Judges and Otanis at certain points, and you get a couple guys on base who just walked. That 6 hitter hits a 3-run homer. That's the end of the game, So they got the right guy. Now the funny thing about this is that early, right before, let's just say before you flew to the winter meetings, it was like, all right, well, Plan A and Plan A1 are we want Bregman or Pete Alonso. A lot of teams, right? But Plan B was okay. If we don't get them, we can get the bat Teoscar gives us, and he'll give us that 29 to 35 home runs. Now he's off the market, and dude, Bregman and Alonso are both still sitting there, and that's very quirky right now. I don't know. What's your take?
Well,
Let's go Alonso first because I think Bregman's more in the driver's seat than Alonso is. I just have that feeling. I don't know.
I just think the teams look at Alonso and don't know if that's it's already on the downtick a little bit, and they don't know if that he's gonna age well, bat speed wise, and all that stuff. But you have to admit he played 162 last year, 34 home runs. He's a power bat that's tough to find. Looks like the Mets offer him 3 years for 90, and I have a feeling that the Mets aren't willing to go any further lengthwise on that contract. I don't think they want to get to that 4th year. So I think whoever's out there. I think Alonso wants at least 5 years, and I don't think the Mets are going to be willing to give him that. I think that still makes sense for him to go back to New York with that team and what he means. And I think that's a respectful offer. 3 for 90.
I agree. I do too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, 3 for 90. So let's do the taxes. Stu is driving me nuts here. Let's do the taxes, right? So let's say you're clearing about 13.5 or 14 million a year for 3 years. And if you take that deal, you're betting on yourself, and you are also financially stable for the rest of your life and your kid's life, at least.
Yeah.
Why not bet? At what point, Case, do you say, you know what? Let me take the 1 year or 2 year or 3 year deal because I have confidence in myself, rather than really grinding it out to try to get that 8-year deal?
Well, because you got one shot, dude. At the end of this deal, he's 30. What is he? 33 at the end of this deal. 34. Like this is his last big deal. So if you decide to go 3 years at 90, did you leave another $40 million on the table that you're not going to get in this contract? So, you got one shot to get this one right. So if you do 3 for 90, and another team was willing to give you 4 for 110, and also too, I mean, Boris is this guy, right? So
Yes, he got rid of his last agent before this
yeah.
year to get Boris
So
for the
Boris
contract.
is very creative. So at the end of the day, I mean, Boris could find a way, like just like he did with Snell, like he did with Bellinger. When Bellinger picked up the opt out, go for a shorter term deal with an opt out for year one. So you can say, okay, I'm going to go hit 50 home runs, kind of bet on myself. If I hit 50, then I opt out. If I hit 35 again and hit 220, I keep it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you could do it that way too. You talk about betting on yourself. Yeah, you bet on yourself. You go out and dominate this year, then you try to get that 4-year deal, and that turns into a 5-year deal. Or do you or you go out and not do well, and you're like, all right, I'll take the 3 for 90.
Well, also, but here's the thing that's confusing to me about the 3 for 90. If I'm him, and I understand what you're saying about like the long term, this is my biggest deal. But let's just say, dude, the Mets are hot, man. They're a top 3 or 4 team in baseball now. Maybe top 1 or 2 teams now that they got Soto. You can play in that. I mean, they're blowing up. And it's the New York market. Let's just say you win a World Series this year or next year or something. I mean, dude, the deals you get, you could sell Chevy cars on Long Island or Queens.
It
doesn't work
might
that
make
way?
2 mil, 3 mil. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, but so you're
You're
saying
not making 30. You're not making 20.
that's interesting. Yeah,
You're
okay.
not. I mean, this is, and as a former player, dude, like, you never will
Yeah.
make this money again in your life. You never will make this money again in your life,
So
unless you hit it big with a grand slam company you buy down the road. But you'll never make this kind of
Right.
money again. So listen, at the end of the day, if like.
So you'd be doing what Pete's doing right now. You'd be kind of
80 to 90. He's got 60 more years. Seriously, I mean, being realistic, 60 more years to live his life, dude. You got one small 10-year window here to try and make as much as you can.
That's such a great line, dude. Al Leiter told me something once, and it cracked me up so much. And I'm like, Al, you like to drink, but you don't drink that much. You don't party hard, whatever. And he goes, I have so much money. I just want to have the longest life I can have with all of this money in my bank account. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I get it. He's like, I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get sick and die and lose all this money that I have.
Right. Jeez, so
Yeah. Okay. So what about Bregman?
I think Bregman goes to the Red Sox.
You've been locked in on that. You're super locked.
I think it makes sense. It sounds like Houston's moving on. With what they're doing. Moving Tucker.
Right.
I think they're trying to move Presley. They're trying to move. It sounds like they tried to get Arenado. There's just things they're doing. You're like, they're trying to kind of retool right now, probably. And it doesn't sound like Bregman's in their plans. And I just feel like if you look at the Red Sox, you could figure that out. It would get a little tricky though, because if you do bring in Bregman and you just say you're going to throw Devers to first, where's Tristan Casas going? Who's a big bat too? So they'd have to figure something out there. I mean, you could probably put Bregman at second base. That's what you'd have to do, probably. Bregman at second.
Right.
You'd have to figure it out, but you could definitely figure it's a good problem to have. But dude, Bregman splits. I really think the Crawford box helps him a lot in his numbers and how his swing plays out. So when you're looking for teams to sign him, a team that has a big ballpark the Blue Jays or the Yankees or the Orioles or some of those teams that have St. Louis, some of the big yards, don't play well for a guy like Bregman. I think that ballpark really helped him out, and I think that a place like Fenway, where he's one of the best visiting player hitters there ever of all time. That monster plays for his swing big time, dude. I really think he could hit over 300 in Boston.
I like that. Yeah, because he's been the last couple of years. He's been about 260, 270 guy.
Yeah.
I think you're right. He might jump up. He might get better numbers in Boston. Okay. Look, at the very end of the day, and we'll probably talk about this more later in a week. We don't have to dive into it too much, but the one thing everybody's talking about these hitters, but dude, Roki Sasaki is out there, and the biggest of the big guns want him. So he will either be a Dodger, Padre, Yankee, Met. I mean, who knows? Red Sox.
Blue Jays are in.
Blue Jays are in. Somebody's getting that guy. And I watched a video of him in a WBC facing a really good player from Mexico, and he was throwing a 102 mile per hour fastball, and he was throwing a 93 mile per hour. I don't know what it was. that was cutting sideways and dropping down. And I was like, whoa, this guy's no joke. That's actually why they beat the United States, because it wasn't just Otani. They had this guy pitching with them. Like, this guy is maybe one of the top 10 pitchers in the world right now. And somebody's signing him. So I think that's the biggest sign. Whoever signs him is going to be bigger than whoever signs Bregman or
you're getting
Alonso.
a number two, probably a number 2 starter right now, maybe a number 1. You don't know because he hasn't played in the big leagues. It's a different.
And young. It's not like when
he's 20. So
right.
You're right, Chich. That's
All
huge.
right.
Whoever gets him, it's going to be that's going to be a big one, big fish.
Yeah. All right. Are you guys going back to hit again later today? Are you going to hit multiple times?
I don't know. We're about to go lift a little bit. I'm going to hit the cold plunge.
What town are you in? Are you by like a Shula's Steakhouse? Because I would always recommend
Steakhouse.
That's the greatest steakhouse in the world. I don't care.
That's in Miami. That's
most underrated
that's like
Miami,
steakhouse. Like Fort Lauderdale area, I think.
Dude, I used to get a prime rib and a full lobster from there for like $55 and just destroy it at winter meetings. I think I did it 3 nights in a row when we were at winter meetings. Anyway, all right, bro. Get back at it. Tell Jake keep swinging hard, man. He's got 1 more year. Let's go. Let's get drafted.
We'll see what happens, man. 1 more year. I just said have some fun, dude. Let it all hang out and have some fun. That's it.
That's the way it goes. All right, brother. Enjoy your last day.
Thanks for listening. Appreciate you. Don't forget, Breakthrough Pro. Sign up. It's going to be.
You got a week left to sign up, right?
Yep. January 5th, we get it started, which is a week to sign up. So come join us. It's going to be.
Yeah, guys, sign up for that. Sign up for that. And also, by the way, we're like 140 subscribers away from 4,000 on our YouTube page. Can you guys just tell people to just click the subscribe
and download?
We'll give everybody $5 who subscribes.
Whoa! Is that what we're doing? We're ready. We're ready. We got to give a cash giveaway some point. Let's see if we can get. We haven't cracked the code yet on how to get the subscribers up. There's got to be a way.
We haven't. It's been organic. It's just been your charming personality. It's all we're hanging on.
I think the one time we did have a giveaway that got us like 500 people.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, guys, just get us like 140 more. All right, buddy. Have a great day out there.
You love me, man. I'll catch you soon.